Hi, my name is Adriel William, and today I'm making a video regarding ethical dilemmas and critical thinking. So, a lot of candidates ask me if there's a formula or a way to answer these kind of questions, and I have to tell you that there isn't one. It's very complex, and you have to look at it from a different angles. But there are some principles that you can utilize when you're answering any ethical dilemma or critical thinking question. And I'm going to give you a question right now, which was asked to a candidate in the interview. And you can think of the answer. And hopefully, by the end of the video, I will provide you with my answer, of which I think is the most appropriate way to resolve this issue. So, here's the ethical dilemma. So, imagine if you're the star football team player of your university and you're actually the captain of your team. And on Tuesday, you have a match at a national level, and it is a final match. You're the team captain, the star player. But on Sunday evening, you receive a call from your mother telling you that one of your aunt has passed away. And even though you're not very close to your aunt, she wants you to be there on the Tuesday when the funeral is happening. And one addition to that is that you don't have a car and the place of funeral is 6 hours away from your university. So what will be your line of action and how will you resolve this situation? So do think about that. You can give your answers in the comment box. And meanwhile, I'm going to explain a little bit of the principles about the upcoming session workshop that I'm planning to do. And by the end of the video, I will try to give you my answer. So for any ethical questions, my suggestion that I would tell you for dental schools, for academic institutes, or for hospitals, there are some level of ethical misconducts that has to be reported right away, and there shouldn't be any delay in that. For example, if somebody's cheating in the exam, if somebody's coming intoxicated and drugged and trying to treat patients, or any level of criminal mischief that is being done, that has to be reported right away. So these are acts of I would say criminal level, or which are considered to be on high end of ethical misconducts. Secondly, then there are scenarios when it's not that easy to figure out who's right and who's wrong and what side to take on. And how do you resolve this kind of situation, or how should you be thinking in this kind of situation? And let me tell you why I'm saying this. Because telling you from my own personal experience that you have to look at the world from different angles, and that's something I learned during my master's in the medical ethical concerns in the medical legal subject that I studied. And along with that, I'm sharing this for you to understand that my own existence has been dilemma, and it took me years to understand that being a Pakistani male Punjabi and having a name like Adriel William is a sense of dilemma to a lot of people. And I know people can disagree and agree with my statement, but when you look at it from a worldwide perspective, you realize that it's not so easy for people to understand my existence, and it takes a lot of time to explain. And most of the time, I don't explain that much about it, but it is what it is. And it's not just me. There's a lot of things when you go out in the world and see, you realize that there are always different patterns. The world doesn't follow a reductionist point of view, and it doesn't follow our emotions. That's one of the most important thing to understand. The world or the nature doesn't follow our emotions. It has its own patterns, and that can't be easily understood. Now, coming to ethical scenarios given in the interview, if they give you one which is of high purity criminal kind of misconduct, you have to inform. That's done for sure. Secondly, if they inform you of a situation that's difficult to analyze whether this is right and wrong, always follow this rule or these principle, that you're going to gather information, you're going to hear, then you're going to analyze, and then you're going to come up with a decision. Never try to execute decision right away, that I saw somebody stealing right away and I will put him in the jail or do something as a punishment to him right away. You always have to analyze. before you take it to a level of judgment. That's very important. Along with that, maybe your decision might be wrong, but if you can provide an appropriate approach of how you came to that decision or what you were thinking, the schools or the interviewers will like you, because what they are trying to seek is that do you have a critical or analytically driven mind who can look at both sides of the coin. Because I usually say it's not that easy to differentiate between evil and good, because by the end of the day all of us are evil at the same time being good. So most of the time things are gray, so you need to be critically driven to analyze that. And I can let me give you the answer which I told you in the question I asked you in this time start. So when the candidate asked me if this kind of situation happen when you're the star football team player and your mother calls and tells you that you have to come to the funeral on the same day the match is, so what I will do is actually right after my mother will hang up the phone, I will try to reach out to my coach or to the higher authority that I know in my sports department, people who are my coach or my mentor. I want to talk to them about this. I will tell them that this is a situation that my mother has asked me to do and deliver myself on Tuesday up there. What's your suggestion? I will let him think. I won't push any conclusion onto him or any judgment. I will say, Coach, what do you say? On the other hand, I would also want to consider the state of the emotional or the psychological state of my mother. If she's not feeling well, if she's in a depression, if she's crying, and if she's hospitalized, well, then most probably I will have to excuse from the match and go to my mother and have to be the most responsible person at the funeral if needed. But on the other hand, if my mother is doing fine, and if I have my siblings and my whole family taking care of the funeral, and I call up my brother or my family member or my cousin and say, hey, is everything in control and stable? Are you able to manage it? Do you need my help right away? Or if I skip this part, will it be manageable? What do you say? If I have that level of communication and correspondence up at that house of grievance, I can have an idea, okay, can I skip it? Can I play my football match? So I've actually touched both sides and asked how much leverage or flexibility are they given. So maybe my coach is a wise man. He might say, fine, since it's a death, take my car, or maybe I will help you get to a bus service, or maybe I'll give you a day off, just go and go to the funeral. We will have some other player substitute you. And coaches do that all the time. Life happens, right? And on the other hand, you call your family member, your sibling, or whoever the person is, and he says, no problem, you take care of your things, get done with the match, and then come to the funeral or to the house, and we will manage everything. And if that kind of leverage you get, then you can play the football match. So in this condition, you can't jump to conclusion, but what you do is you gather information and you analytically drive for a rational decision before you do anything. And I know this is a bit complex, but the reason I'm breaking this down, because I know on YouTube and on other places, people just like to create hacks and crack. They will just listen to answers from here and there, and they are not, I can guarantee you, people are not analytically driven themselves. They are driven by some other motivations, and they will give you information or formulas that won't apply everywhere. And then you can create issues for yourself, because you might give an answer which is not sensitive enough or which is not appropriate at the situation. So here's the thing what I'm offering to all the candidates. So I'm planning to set up a workshop, and that specifically deals with ethical dilemmas and critical thinking questions. So I'm planning to go and discuss more than 30 most common ethical dilemma questions and critical thinking questions in this workshop. And I will ask some of the candidates to give me their thought, and then I'll try to discuss mine and come up how I'm coming up with a rationale to resolve these situations. So if you're interested to take this ethical dilemma workshop, you can reach out to me. In the description, there's my email address, there's my contact number. You can reach out to me and you can sign up for this. I'm planning to conduct this on September 25th, and hopefully it will last about 2 hours. And I'm keeping the price comparatively low since it's a group session, it's a workshop, and I hope a lot of people can benefit from it. And I hope this video makes sense and it provides you a sense of map how to answer your ethical dilemmas better. And I hopefully will see you in a more meaningful video. Best of luck.